Good morning. Once again, welcome to Woman on the Rise. Just want to add again, in order to see my videos in its entirety, please go to YouTube, subscribe, and like. In order to get to my videos, put in the search box, Welcome to Woman on the Rise, and it will pull up all my videos in its entireties. So please, once again, go to YouTube, put in Welcome to Woman on the Rise, hit like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. This morning I wanted to come to you out of John 5, chapter 5, verses 5 through 8. It talks about the pool of Bethesda. The pool of Bethesda is a pool where I don't want to say sickly people, so I just kind of named some of the sickness. It was a pool where people with blindness would go, if they were crippled, any kind of sickness that they may have felt in their body, they would go to this pool. And the reason why they went to this pool was because it was said supposedly that when angels come, they would come every now and then, and they would stir the water up in the pool. And when they came and stirred the water up, then the people that needed healing would go jump into the pool, and then they'd get out healed. So this morning I want to talk to you about a gentleman that was sitting at this pool. He was sitting at this pool, I think in the Bible it states that he was there for 38 years, sitting at the pool. One day Jesus passed by, and Jesus asked him, what is it that he wants? You can look at several different versions. Some may say, do you want to be healed? Some will, I read some, one Bible said, what is it that you want? But in the midst of that, when God asked the young man, what is it that he wanted? He didn't tell God the answer. But instead, what he began to do was tell God about no one would help him. No one would, every time he got ready to get into the pool, everybody would jump in and no one would help him get into the pool. So I guess my thing of it is, I just want to kind of make note of that situation and how we can apply that situation to our day-to-day lives, or how in fact sometimes we do apply that situation to our day-to-day lives. I want you to first notice that he was there for 38 years. 38 years to me, when I think of 38 years, that's a long time. That's a long time to be in one spot. That's a long time to be in one spot. And the reason he was there, because he was waiting for someone to help him get into the pool. He was waiting for someone to pick him up because he was paralytic. So that meant he was crippled. He couldn't get in there on his own. So he was waiting for someone to pick him up and put him into the pool so that he may get his healing. And it got me to thinking about me and people. First of all, know that you don't have to be stuck in any situation. Not any situation. Because when I thought about him being there for 38 years, the first thing that I thought of was, why would somebody just sit there for 38 years? That's a long time. But we get complacent. And we stay in places that even when God is trying to elevate us, we fight it. We fight it. We start to stay there. We want to stay where we're at because what? It feels comfortable. Or we feel like we have to get someone to help us in order for us to move forward. So that made me think about us depending on other people to do the things that only God can do. When we look to people for security, when we look to people to take care of us, when we look to people for just loving us, we know that, yeah, some people will love you and some people will love you from a distance. But when it comes to looking to people that only God can give you what you desire, God say, I will love you with an everlasting love, meaning his love is not conditional. It doesn't stop. It doesn't run out, and it don't change. So this guy here was looking for someone to help him. He was dependent more on people than he was on God. So I want to reiterate. Yes, God will put people in your life to help you, but don't depend on people. God say, I'm your only source. I'm your source. Even on your job. When you go to work, yeah, that's your job, but that's the job that God supplied to you so you can meet your needs when it comes to finances. But God is the main source of that job. God is the reason that you have that job. When it comes to needing help, God said, I will supply all your needs, all your needs. And trust me, I have testimonies where God has supplied my needs through strangers. So I know that his word is true when he say, I will supply all your needs. So in the midst of that, I wanted to say, yeah, we can depend on people. We can count on people. But don't get discouraged when people don't give you what you're looking for. Don't get discouraged when people don't love you like you think they should. Don't get discouraged when people reject you. Stop depending on people to do the things that only God can do. God will never reject you. He said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. Meaning he's always there. He's never going to turn his back on you. And another thing I wanted to iterate on this story was that what's for you is for you. When it's your time to be blessed, know that God is going to bless you. Yeah, sometimes you have to sit back and you have to wait. But see, this guy wasn't waiting on Jesus to come by. He was waiting on somebody else to help you, to help him. So I'm telling you that when God has something in store for you, he will cause doors to open. He'll cause people to come into your life that will help you. He will cause situations to make divine arrangements. Again, I never brag or boast about the things that I've done because it's all about God that's helping me to do the things that I'm doing now. But it was through God that all this was made possible. He said, with him, nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible. So when it's your turn, know that God will be there and he'll orchestrate everything you need in your life. Don't worry about being rejected. Don't worry about waiting on somebody else to help you. Don't wait around waiting for don't look for something in somebody else. Because God is the one that'll give it to you. Now, once you get that in your heart and in your mind, then he'll bring people that want to help you. He'll bring people that won't reject you. He'll bring people that love you like you should be loved. In the Bible, God even talked about he was rejected. So even though he was rejected, you can expect to be rejected sometimes. You can expect for people to reject you. God said, I was rejected in my own home. That meant his family members. People in his own family was rejecting him. So don't look to people to give you what only Christ can give you. And know that when it's your turn, God will open up those doors just like he told that man. When that man never did answer him, he was too busy worrying about who was helping him, who wasn't helping him. He couldn't do it by himself. God still told him, get up and walk. And guess what? That man got up and walked. So stop depending on people. Stop depending on people to do for you what only God can do for you. And know that your turn is coming. And when it's your turn, trust me, God will allow divine intervention for everything to fall into place. Yesterday, I was speaking to a young lady and she was like so impressed with everything that I was doing that she was like, do you ever get tired? But you know what? With my hand in everything, I don't get tired. And you know why I don't get tired? Number one, it's the grace of God. But number two, I'm doing what I love. I love ministering to people. I love uplifting people. This is my calling. This is my purpose. Did I know I have to wait? I ain't gonna reveal my age, but did I know that I'd wait this long to get to this place? No, I didn't. But it showed me that when it's my turn, God will make it happen. And that's the same with you. When it's your turn, God will make it happen. So I just want to encourage someone. Don't give up. Don't depend on people. If some people reject you, if some people walk out your lives, it's okay. It's okay. Because God can fill places in you that they never could.